Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm a technician here at Z1 Motorsports. Today we are installing the Z1 single exit race exhaust along with the Z1 Modular Y-Pipe on this 370Z. This exhaust is offered in left or right side exit. This particular exhaust is a right side exit. You can find this product along with anything you'll ever need for your Z or G at z1motorsports.com. And now let's take a look at the tools needed for this install. Tools required for this, we have a 3/8 ratcheting wrench with a 3/8 extension, 12mm socket, 14mm socket, 15mm socket, a 16mm socket, 14mm wrench, and a 16mm wrench. Now for recommended but not needed, we have rust penetrant, silicone spray, and a cordless impact. Once you have the vehicle securely lifted in the air, it's a good idea to go ahead and spray all the nuts for the exhaust with some rust penetrant to give that a little bit of time to free up any possible rust in those threads. While we are waiting for that rust penetrant to work its magic, let's go ahead and get everything unboxed and ready to install. I find it best to loosely install the resonator to the Y-Pipe, and we will tighten everything up once we have it installed on the car. Now we're going to loosely install the resonator to the Y-Pipe. Go ahead and grab your supplied exhaust gasket and supplied hardware. Install the hardware, but only finger tight. We will leave these a little loose for now, and we will tighten them later when everything is installed on the car. Like I said before, be sure to put these on finger tight. You don't want to tighten them completely down right now. We will do that later. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the Y-Pipe back off of the vehicle. Go ahead and start by removing these two 14mm nuts. These are at the back of the Y-Pipe. To remove the exhaust after the Y-Pipe, you're going to start by removing these two 14mm nuts, the left side front exhaust hanger, the right side front exhaust hanger, the right rear exhaust hanger, and the left rear exhaust hanger. I find it best to leave the hangers on the exhaust, but just remove the 12mm nuts that are holding the fronts on. It can be a little difficult to remove the rubber mounts from the exhaust. On the rear, remove the three 12mm bolts on each side of the car that hold the hangers to the car. Loosely leave one of them installed. If you remove this bolt, the exhaust will fall. On the other side, remove two bolts and leave one loose. As you can see, the exhaust is now free floating. It's almost ready to fall. You're going to get ready. We need to support the exhaust here before we take these bolts off. As you hold it, go ahead and remove the two finger bolts that we loosely have installed. Once those are removed, the exhaust is now ready to come off the vehicle. At this point, we can go ahead and remove the Y-Pipe. Go ahead and start by removing the two 14mm nuts on the left and right side. Be careful as you remove these last two nuts, as the Y-Pipe might fall off. You will want to support it. Once you have all four nuts removed, the Y-Pipe is now ready to come off. Just a little pro tip here, if you use silicone spray on these exhaust mounts, it can make removing them a lot easier, as we all know that sometimes they can be a pain to pull off. After you pull off all the hangers from the old exhaust, you can go ahead and bolt the hangers back up in their original locations. This will make install a lot easier. As we get ready to install our Y-Pipe, go ahead and remove the old exhaust gaskets from the catalytic converters. Grab the 2.5-inch supplied gaskets, install one on each catalytic converter, and we're good to go ahead and grab the Y-pipe and install it. When you are installing your Y-pipe, make sure the Z1 logo is pointing straight down to the ground. It will only bolt on this way. It will not bolt on if you have it the other way around. Go ahead and grab the 14mm nuts that were removed from the old Y-pipe. Install them loosely onto the cats. We can just install them finger tight here. We will tighten everything later on. Now we can go ahead and grab our supplied hardware in 3-inch exhaust gasket. Slide the bolts through the resonator and you can let them rest there. We're going to go ahead and grab our supplied hardware to loosely put together the Y-pipe back. It's a good idea to leave the muffler off as we will put that on later. Once you have your single exit exhaust loosely put together, we can now go ahead and attach it to the Y-pipe with the supplied hardware. And like I said before, we will go ahead and loosely install these, just put them on finger tight. There is a heat shield that protects the evap canister from the original exhaust. As the new single exit exhaust may interfere, go ahead and bend this up a little bit. Be careful to not bend it too much. You do not want to cut the hose for the evap canister. At this point, I find it easiest to install the muffler exhaust hanger onto the muffler before we have it on the car. You can use some silicone spray here to make it a little easier to install. Once you get that hanger slid over the muffler, you can go ahead and slide the muffler onto the rear pipe of the exhaust. And then go ahead and slide that exhaust hanger into the rubber hanger. Now, since we have everything loose and fitted onto the car, we can go ahead and tighten everything up. And I usually like to start from the front and work my way to the rear of the vehicle as I tighten everything. There is plenty of adjustability in this muffler, so you can set it how you prefer. Preferably, you would like it to be away from the bumper, as you do not want it to burn your bumper. Once you get the muffler seated in the position you want it, you can go ahead and tighten down the clamp. If you like your exhaust to be loud, you can go ahead and remove the silencer, or you can leave it in. It's personal preference. You can grab the supplied Allen key that came with the exhaust, loosen the silencer mounting hardware, remove the hardware, and give the silencer a small tug and it should come right out. And that's going to wrap up the exhaust install. Thank you for watching.